Peanuts may be a staple in our diet, but did you know they're playing an even bigger role in industries beyond food? In a recent conversation with our Kenny Burgamy, Don Koehler, Executive Director of the Georgia Peanut Commission, revealed some fascinating new research and market opportunities. Koehler also touched on critical issues, Georgia's dominance in peanut production, and the rising challenges farmers face due to increasing input costs.
Where are we with research and what's going on? I hear there's all kinds of possibilities for the peanut other than just eating peanuts.
We have an interesting situation in the world, but the developed countries of the world have a shrinking population, including the United States. And so with that kind of a situation, we've got to look at other opportunities. We went back and looked at the work that Carver did when he was at Tuskegee. He did about 300 uses for peanuts, and about half of those were non-food use. So we're right now looking at jet fuel and compostable plastics, looking at marine diesel fuel. We're looking at packaging materials that we can do with that. And one of the things that's really exciting is we're doing a poultry feeding project right now. Our total market is about 3.5 million tons of peanuts. The poultry project that we're doing right now has a potential for 1.4 million tons of farmer stock peanuts to be used in feeding broilers and layers. So that would be exciting if we can make this come to pass.
A lot of times consumers want to know first and foremost about peanut allergies. I've heard there's a development of peanut that we can avoid those allergies. How close are we that to product on the shelves of stores?
So the issue with trying to look at a peanut that's hypoallergenic, certainly we think that we can get it there. The thing that we've got to do is we've got to prove the fact that then that new protein in the peanut doesn't also cause allergy. The more favorable thing right now is that we have an injection now that people can do. We have approved now oral immunotherapy, where you can take and start with a challenge of a low dose of protein, increase that a little bit. I've got a little boy who goes to church with me. He's not little anymore. He's in high school, that went through oral immunotherapy, and his treatment is every day to eat one Reese's peanut butter cup, the little small one, to keep his resistance up to where his body doesn't view peanut as something that's foreign. So a lot of work going on, but a lot of successes there.
Here's another consumer related question. Where do our peanuts go? Once they're grown here in Georgia, what happens?
So the majority of the peanuts that we grow in Georgia end up in peanut butter. Peanut butter is king when we look at our consumption, but that's not to take anything away from salted nuts, from candy, from peanut oil, and we have a couple of oil mills that still process oil here. So they kind of go in a lot of places. Peanuts are a really, really versatile crop. If you look at all of our peanut butter factories, the closest one that we have, there's one in Fitzgerald, Georgia. There's one in Albany, Georgia. Terra Foods in Albany makes all of the Kroger peanut butter, and then they do a lot of name brand peanut butter as well. But we have now Uncrustables that the Smucker's company is doing, and they can't make enough of them. So that's all good for us.
How does Georgia compare to other states across the South with peanut production and yield?
So right now we're at about 52 to 53% of the U.S. production in Georgia alone.
Is that better than years past, or is it not quite as good as what we've seen in the last 10 years?
So when I came into the peanut business, we had a quota program. Under the quota program, we were at about 45%. We have been up as high as about 54%, but we're pretty much stable at that 52 to 53% of the U.S. crop here in Georgia.
Final question. We've heard the great news about what's going on with peanuts. The elephant in the room, input costs really high. Some farmers are struggling.
Absolutely. We've been working, we've had groups going to Washington doing fly-ins. Georgia Farm Bureau has just put together a letter to our whole congressional delegation and they're getting every commodity group in the state to sign on because we're in trouble. I've been in this job 38 years. I've never had bankers talk with me until this year about the fact that farmers were in trouble. And it reminds me of the 80s when we lost a lot of farms and farmers in the 80s. We're working really hard. We need a farm bill out of Washington, but a farm bill isn't the only thing. We're going to have some help to keep our farmers on the farm, some supplemental help, because we've gone for 2 years now without a farm bill. So, you know, I keep up hope, though. I'm an eternal optimist. Farmers have to be. They have to be an optimist to ever put a crop in the ground. And I'm an eternal optimist that we're going to find help and we're going to make it moving forward if we all work together.
Great job, Kenny, and our thanks to Don Koehler for spending the day with us and providing the incredible insights.